Yes, so as we talked last week, these are the database management software that we can use, right? Like Access, Base, Oracle, and there are many different things. So for our purpose, for our practicals, we are using MS Access, which is created or produced by the Microsoft Corporation, right? And this is the program that we were using, right? So the way we are going to create a database from the scratch, like we have to create this blank, click on this blank database, and you will be asked for a particular name for that database, and you can give it, you can change the location if you want, where the database is going to save, right? And then you need to hit on this create button, right? So once you are done with it, you will be taken to a place where you can create the tables inside your database. So last week we discussed about that, right? And we create this school detail database, and you can see it is showing the ACCDB extension regarding the database. So it's better you remember these things, people. Now we know what's the extension for the Word documents. It is DOCX. The older version is DOC. All right, we know what's the extension for spreadsheets, which is the Excel. We take the extension as XLS. For the newer version, XLSX is taken. And for the PowerPoint, the extension will be PPT, the older version. PPTX is going to be the newer version. And when it comes to the MS Access, it's the ACCDB is the extension for that particular version, right? So today I'm going to open the database that I have created, right? So I'm not going to use this blank database. Since I got things over here, listed over here, saying school details, ACCDB, I just click on it. If you want to find another database that you have created like a little while ago, you can use this open facility or the open command, and you can find it. You can browse it if you want, right? Then you can open the database that you want. So for me, my database is listing over here. So I'm going to click on that simply. So it will get opened. Sometimes you will be getting a security warning like this, all right? So on that, you can do saying like enabling content. And last week, we create one particular table, which is called student info, right? If I double click on it, that particular table is open. And this view is called the Datasheet View, right? So Datasheet View shows you the tables under the particular database. And when it comes to the datasheet view of a table, it's showing you the place where you can enter the data into that table, right? So here you can see I have created field names called SID, SNAME, address, DOB, gender, CID, fee, kind of things, right? We did this according to a particular plan that we have done, that I have done already. So if you want to change the design of the database or of the table, actually, so it's better you change it before you enter the data. Right now, if you want to add a particular column or if you want to delete a particular column, you can go to this design view right over here, click on that, or you can select design view from here, or you can go to there straight away by clicking on this particular icon. So it will take you to the place where you can design your table. So if you want to change any field names, if you want to change any data types, you can do it over here. right? And if you want to add any fields or delete any fields, you can still do those things and you can save it. Then you can go to the datasheet view by using this icon and you can enter the data that you want, right? So always remember it's the views tab. I'm sorry, it's the views group under the home tab, which is helping you to toggle from design view to datasheet view, from datasheet view to design view. So in the design view, I told you how to assign a primary key, right? You can choose any particular field and you can name or like assign it as a primary key. So it's a very simple thing that you have to do is like just click on the particular field and clicking on this primary key. So you can see the key symbol is changing from place to place when I'm doing it, right? If you recognize, if you look closely, this key symbol is going to change to the place that I am going to mark as a primary key. So we know what should be the, what are the qualities that should have inside a primary key, right? So it should be a unique one. It should be not null one, like that particular field should not contain any empty places, all right? So when you are creating a particular primary key, it's better you find a field which is suited to that, right? In the previous days we talked, like names, addresses, date of births, those kind of things are not suitable to be a primary key because they can easily be repeated, right? As well as the gender, right? And as well as this fee. The CID is a different thing. I'll show you the table structure before I go to the next one. So the best thing, the best one that we can create is the SID. And CID, I put this as a foreign key and I didn't set it as a foreign key yet. The CID is going to be the primary key of the class table. And if you can remember, we talked about this foreign key relationship, right? When a primary key of one table is acting as a normal field of another table, we call that field a foreign key. So that is how this has become a foreign key. So the most suitable field to be the primary key is the SID. So I can select the SID and select the primary key to indicate that SID is going to be the primary key. All right, people, is that clear? How to create a table, how to edit it, and how to fix the primary key onto it. Yes, everyone, is that clear? Right, great. All right, so moving forward, so today I'm going to show you how to enter the data, right? So here I'm moving to the datasheet view. Yeah, so since I have done some changes, they are asking me to save it before I move to the datasheet view. And yeah, Samitu, I think that's a printing mistake, neither. It's not a problem, neither, it's not a question, right? Right, okay, great. So I'm moving to the datasheet view. So when I'm pressing the datasheet view, it is asking me to save the particular things that I have done. So I'm saving it. So here comes my datasheet view. So it is the very same table that we have created. So now we can enter the data into this, right? So how we are going to enter the data? We just click on the particular table, and I'm going to enter some value S001. So I'll take it this as Saman, and address as Kotawa. When it comes to the date of birth, since we have set this date of birth column as a column which contains the data type which is called date, it gives us a date picker. So we just pick a date, some random date. All right, I can change the things. Yeah, so I'll give some random date over here. And gender, I use M for male. And CID, I'm going to choose this C001. For fee, we have named it as the what we call a particular currency value, right? So I'm just type 500. Okay. So can you see this? The value you enter does not match the currency data type in the column. Enter new value, convert the data into the column to the text data type, help the data type types and formats. So that's how the error detecting part is happening, right? So you have to be careful when you are entering details over here. Right now, if you want to change the currency symbol into rupees, you can go to the design view. You can choose the fee, and here you can choose the currency symbol. Let me check. Yeah, you can make it as a general number, all right? Or you can, yeah, hold on. Yeah, just not giving us the facility to change it. There was a way. Hold on. No, for the moment they are not allowing that, but I remember it was there in a previous version. Let me go through that. Let me go through that and see. Right, let's just keep this for the moment. So the next one, I can add a 002 minimal. Either if I want, I can type the detail over here, or I can pick it from here. Right, so another one, if I type numbers over here, it takes that number as well, because they are not taking it as a number, they take that number as a string or like as a text, right? So it's better. Right, so likewise, I can add the details to the table that I need, right? So later you will find there are easy ways of doing this, right? But for the moment, it's better you understand how to design a table, how to give particular details to this table, right? Or how to add data into the table, right? So yeah, let me check what else we have to do with the data entering part. So we design the table and we make the primary key, we enter the data. Yeah, next, what we have to talk is like how to create relationship in between tables. Like we talk about this last week. The thing we are going to create is called the relational database, right? So if it is a relational database, the tables that they are going to create must have relations, right? Sambandhakam තියෙන්න ඕන. All right. So what are we planning to do is, I'll show that to you. We are planning to create this database. So like this is the student info table that I have created. It contains the details of the students. This is the class info table. It contains the details of the classes. And this is teacher info table. It contains the details of the teachers. And this is what we call student teacher table. Now student teacher table is kind of a table which describes the teacher sessions in between a teacher and the students. All right, so this is what we are going to create. This is the plan of ours, right? So here, first we have to understand what kind of relationships are there in between the tables. What are the possible relationships, right? Like we can have different kinds of relationships in between tables. So majorly there are three types, which we call one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, and many-to-many relationship. All right. So first of all, it's better we understand what kinds, or like what type of relationship are these, right? So first one, we call it one-to-one relationship. Now, based on the relationship, we are going to create the relationship in the access as well. So first we have to figure out what kind of relationship that these two tables are going to have. Like there can be tables which may not have a direct relation in between those. But as I told you, if it should be a relational database, those two tables should be either connect directly or connect indirectly, right? එක්ක කෙලින්ම connect වෙන්න ඕනේ. නැත්නම් වෙන tables කීපයක් හරහා ඇවිල්ලා connect වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? So one-to-one relationship can be defined like this. Now look at these two tables. Now one is a marks table and the other one is the student table, right? So here, each and every particular admission number, that means each and every student is going to have a separate mark, right? And it's not going to be lots of marks, people, just one particular mark for each and every student. So student table contains the student details, marks table contains the marks. So admission number is the reference that they are keeping to create a relationship in between these two tables. Right, so this particular two tables explains one admission number has only one mark of that particular kind, right? So these kind of relationship are called one-to-one relationship. One particular student will be having one particular mark, as well as for a one particular mark, there is only one particular student. Right now, if you think about this 151, which belongs to the index number 23234, belongs to the admission number 1426, and 1426 means Kavindu Prabhashwar. So for Kavindu, there is only one particular record like this. Right, so 1426 is having a mark, just one mark on the marks table. All right, so always remember to check both the ways, people. දෙපැත්තටම check කරලා බලන්න විතරම හුරු වෙන්න. Right, ඒ කියන්නේ එක mark එකක් ගත්තොත්, like එක index number එකක් ගත්තොත්, ඒක index number එකට ඉන්නේ එක admission number එකයි. ඒ වගේම එක admission number එකක් ගත්තොත්, it has only one index number. Right, so you can understand the relationship in between these tables from the table which contains the foreign key. Relationship එක ගැන හොඳටම idea එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ මේ foreign key එක තියෙන table එක study කරාම තමයි. Right, so for one index number there is only one admission number, and for a one particular admission number there is only one index number, one unique index number. Right, so when that nature exists in between details or in between tables, we call them one-to-one relating tables. Right, and the next one is called one-to-many relationship. We generally show how one-to-one relationship happens, or like what the relationship is happens in between the table. And what is one-to-many relationship? Right, I'll come to this type of diagram. This type of diagram is drawn with the help of MS Access. Right, so the next type is one-to-many relationship. Now, when you take this particular example, so one is student table, the other one is the facility fee table. Right, so there student table stays alone. It contains admission number, name, and date of birth. And facility fee table, it has receipt number, payment date, fee, and admission number. Right, so as you can see in the facility fee table, it has this admission number, which is the primary key of the student table. So this admission number works as a foreign key in the facility table. So when there is the foreign key, we can understand how the nature goes on. So here, if you look closely, you can see per one receipt number, there is only one admission number. If the receipt number is 1426 is going to be the admission number. And if you think about the 1002 receipt number, you can see it's the 1426, the same admission number is there. So the fact that they are explaining here is like the same admission number. Same admission number has many receipt numbers. Same admission number has many receipt numbers, but one receipt number has only one admission number. Right? So 1000 is related to the person 1426. So one receipt contains only one admission number. Even the 1001 contains 1428, one admission number. And for 1002 related to 1426 student again, and again that receipt is having just one admission number. So if you take one particular admission number, it has many receipt numbers. 1426 has 1000 as well as 1002. Two receipts are there. But one receipt is having only one particular admission number. So this kind of relationship is called one-to-many relationship. Right now, if I make it much clearer, I can annotate it like this. Right, so if I take a student here, and if I take fee over here, let's say facility fee, all right, so this says one particular student to this side we can say one particular students can have many facility fees. And to the other side, from facility fees to the student, one particular facility fee, right? It has only one student. Right? Are you getting the fact, people? One particular student has many facility fees, and one facility fee has only one particular student. Yes, everyone, are you getting this concept? Okay, how about others? Now, to define the final relationship in between student and facility fee, we consider both the values and we take the highest. Here, both places are 1, so it takes as 1. Here, one way is like one particular side is 1, the other particular side is m. Right here, 1 and m is there, so they take the bigger value. So they take m over here. Right, so 1 and m. So that's how we say this has a relationship called one-to-many. Yeah, Udamya, it's simply like this, Dua. whenever you are asked to determine a relationship of two tables, first you are going to choose the table which has the foreign key, right? The main tables again, this is the foreign key. So you are going to consider this table. So what are the two tables? It's the student table and the facility table, right? So from that, I am arguing one particular student. I always start from one particular student. I'll search how many facility fees can be there. So this particular student has two receipt numbers. That means two facility fees. So that means one has many facility fees. And I'm going to read the relation to the other direction as well. So like one facility fee. Now I'm starting from one on the facility fee side. One facility fee is having to only one particular student. So we are going to receive two digits or like two symbols at each side, right, left and right. So from those two values, we are choosing the biggest. So 1 and 1, it does not have any larger value. Both are identical. So 1 is the final value as well. And from 1 and M is biggest. So M is taken, right? So for that reason, we can say these two table shares a one-to-many relationship. Okay, is that clear, Udamya? Right, great. So let me clear the drawings. Next type is many-to-many relationship. Many-to-many. Now, many-to-many means, now you may have an idea. One particular thing is having many particular things from the other entity. If you are reading it the other way around, again, one particular thing has many particular things from the other entity, right? So as an example, look at this. If you take student and the sports table, you can see, like here, they haven't mentioned about, or like they haven't shown you the full relationship. It is at the next page. Here, what they are trying to say is the Kavidu Prabhashwar, admission number 1426, is doing the sports, which is cricket and football. So one student is doing many sports. And again, this volleyball, which has the sport number S003, is done by many students as well, right? So when we are having this kind of relationship, make a depattama many side එකක් කියන්නේ එක ළමයෙකුට ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ගොඩක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම එක ස්පෝර්ට් එකක් ළමයි ගොඩක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. This kind of a relationship is called many-to-many relationship. Why it is a many-to-many relationship? Now we can illustrate, we can understand, right? It's like this. So if you take the entities, right? Now these are the two ways that we can read a relationship. So it says one particular, I'm sorry. this says one particular student can do many particular sports, as well as to the other side, one particular sport right, and it can be done with many particular sports. Right, so now if you consider the left and the right hand sides, here we got M, the bigger value, and here again, M, the bigger value. Right, so that means this is a many-to-many relationship. Is that clear, people? How it becomes a many-to-many one? Okay, so how they are going to maintain this? They are going to maintain it like this manner. They are doing a little trick over here. This is how they are going to manage it. Right now, there are three tables: student table, sport table, and there is a new table called student sport. Right, so in student table, they got three things: admission number, name, and date of birth. In sports table, they got admission in the sport table. In the very last, they have sport number of permanent members. And there is this new table at the middle. It's called student sport table. Right? So that's a general thing to be done, when we are having a new table, the name is given by the parents tables, like the tables which was helping to create them. All right. So if you look closely, you can see Janit Ashekar is doing different sports, S001, S003. So one particular student doing many sports. And if you take one particular sports, this S001, S001, right? So those things like S00, if you take S003, one particular sport is done by many different students. Right here in the here the admission number 1428 is doing a 003 and 1429 is having a 003 likewise. Right now, instead of two tables, if the relationship is many to many, you need to create a new table. Otherwise, you won't be able to handle it. Why they are using the new table, why they are creating a new table, it is because we have to put the result in between both the parties in one particular table. All right, so there are equations or situations where they have to manage data on this manner as well. Right now, if you think about your school system, if you're going to create about teacher and the children's or the students database, you can face the similar situation. One teacher is teaching to many students and one student is taught by many different teachers as a general argument. Right? So on that case, if the relationship forming a many-to-many relationship, that means you have to create a third table. When they are creating a third table, what they have done, they have done a nice thing. They were referring the admission number, sport number from these shops. Right. So then any other particular team or any other particular term, you can do it as the earlier manner. All right. So like this team can be there, right? Because it belongs to both the ways. All right. So the way that we can convert a many-to-many one is into a particular relation is like this. Now, in the examination, you won't be given the chance to convert a many-to-many relationship into a new one. All I want you to do is just learn the pattern. Right? So that's what you want. Okay, people, is it clear what happens with the many-to-many one? Okay. Right. So let's quickly note down these things, people. This will be needed for you to know. And before that, now these are the way that the Access software allowing you to show this one-to-one, one-to-many thing. See, one-to-one, it's just one over here, one over here. Right, and one-to-many. This is how it happens. One over student and many over the other part. And when it comes to the many-to-many, stories a little bit differ. Since they're having a third item, it's going to be like this. Student number, student table is connected with this student sport, as well as the sport is related with the student sport. Right, so what they have done is like they have taken one-to-many relationship between this third table. So it eventually performs many-to-many. Okay, so let's write it down, people. Yes, have the subheading. Yeah, have it like this: relationship in a database. Relationships in relational database. That's going to be the heading: relationships in relational database. Right, then relationships in how did I came, people? Relationships in a database, right? So the first one is called one-to-one relationship. And under that, right, let me highlight this. Yeah, write it. So one-to-one relationship, the explanation right? So you need to draw these two tables, people. So it will define how one-to-one happens, and it's better you write down this as well, right? I'll make the sketch so you can write it. Right, so after the table, under that, you better have this. So student is in this side, marks in this side, right? So we mark the way that we are going to argue to both the side. One student has one mark. This should be, people don't take this as marks, just take it as mark, right? I'll replace it, mark, just singular one. And from those arguments, just take the final cardinality, which is underneath it. If you are not clear with what I have drawn over here, please ask me, people, and let me know when you are done. Yes, people, are we done? All right, one is done. Others, hurry up. Yes, people, can we move forward? All right, anyone who is still writing? All right, moving forward. Now, yeah, regarding one-to-many relationship, these things needs to be written. Okay, so moving down. Yeah, so this is the table that you need to draw. So it's better you mark it, people, so you can draw it at home. Never mind, you'll draw this, then I'll let you draw the last one at home. And later you have some other things to mark as well. So I'll do it. You'll go for this. And at the bottom of it, you can draw this. Student is there. This is going to be facility fees. And it's going to be one student has only one facility fee, can have many facility fees. So this is going to change. And accordingly, the mark is going to change as well. This is going to be one too many. Right, so under the table, you better draw this, my annotation, which is on the screen. All right, one is done. How about others? Right. Anyone who is still writing? All right, so we are moving forward to the last one, many-to-many relationship. Please copy this. Right. Can we move forward? Anyone who is still writing? Okay. So for your homework, I need you to have this, the tables at the page number 275, these three tables, right? So here I'm drawing the sketch that I am drawing regarding the student and the sport over here. It's better you draw that, right? So this is going to be the sport. And this is M again. So that means one student is doing many sports. One sport is done by many students, right? So this relationship is called many to many, but according to the database jargon, we name it as M, and on the other side, we name it as N. We are not putting M to M. ඒක database වල මේ notation එක ලියන එක ක්‍රමයක්. M to N කියලා අපි ලියන්නේ. Right? Many to many කියන එක. Right? So leave the space for this, or you can just draw my sketch from a pencil. Then after you draw draw these three tables, then you can draw my sketch. Right? So page number 275, the three tables, that's going to be your homework. Then, and under it, you are going to draw my sketch over here, student and sport, the relationships and the final cardinality, right? So after drawing that, let's end the session, right? Ending it a little early, people, like 5 minutes early, since it is the Christmas, neither. Then after, again, when it comes to the practicals, we have to go for the practicals, and I need to show you how these things are made. So 5 minutes is not enough for that. So we are not going to meet next week, people. We are going to meet week after. And on that day, we will be able to finish the database lesson. Then week after, like week after means like on 8th, we are going to do the final part of the database. Then by 15th, we are going to start the grade 11 stuff, right? So get ready, and don't forget to draw these tables in page number 275. Please draw these three tables, and below that, you need to have my sketch over here, the relationship that shows in between student and sports, right? So once you are done with it, you can leave the session, and thank you very much. And have a very happy 2022, people. Right, I'll see you on 2022. Right, thank you very much, and have a very nice weekend, people. So you can have this, then you can leave.